Watch this. I'm going to ask Claude to build me this working name picker from scratch. No coding, no terminal, just a folder on my desktop and a conversation. If you've been curious about Claude Code but felt like the terminal was too much, this video is for you. So I'm Jamie, stick around, and I'm going to walk you through this whole thing from download to working project, start to finish. Today we're looking at the brand new Claude Code desktop app, and specifically we're going to use it the easiest possible way with no terminal, no coding setup, nothing scary. If you don't know what Claude Code is, here's the short version. It's an AI coding assistant from Anthropic that works directly on the files on your computer. You tell it what you want, it proposes changes, and you decide whether to accept them. That's it. Up until recently, most people use Claude Code through a terminal, which is a text-based tool that a lot of beginners find intimidating. But Anthropic just released a redesigned desktop app that gives you the full Claude Code experience with irregular window buttons and a live preview. No terminal required. By the end of this video, you'll have downloaded the app, picked a project folder, and built a working tool you could actually use. Let's get into it. Quick note on requirements before we start, because I don't want you to get halfway through and hit a wall. You'll need a paid Claude plan, and plan inclusions change occasionally, so just head over to claude.com pricing to see what plans currently include Claude Code. The free tier doesn't include it, and you'll also need a Mac or Windows computer. There's no Linux desktop app yet, and that's it. So you don't need Node.js, you don't need no Git, and you don't need any coding background at all. If you can just download an app and drag a folder, you can follow this video. Let's grab the app. Head over to claude.com/download and pick the version for your computer, either Mac or Windows. Once it's downloaded, install it like any other app. Open it up and sign in with your Claude account. Now, here's the thing that trips people up. Claude Code isn't a separate app you download. It's built into the main Claude desktop app, and you access it through the tabs at the top of the sidebar. Okay, I got the app installed. I'm logged into my account and it's opened on my computer. Take a look at these three icons right up here. This is what I was talking about. The chat bubble is just regular Claude, just like using it on the website. The checklist icon is Cowork, which is a different agent that runs tasks autonomously in the cloud. And this third one, this is the one that looks like little code brackets. That's Claude Code. That's where we're going. Quick tour before we start. On the left, you see you got new session, which is how you start fresh. Routines for automations, which we're not covering in today's video, and customize for setting. The dashboard in the middle tracks your usage over time. Right now, it's probably empty since if you're starting fresh, but you'll see sessions, message, tokens, and streaks fill in as you use it. Not something you need to worry about today. Down here is where the action is. You've got local, which means your sessions runs on your computer, and select folder, which is how you point Claude at the project you want to work on. I'm going to select Opus 4.7 here on medium effort, which is a good balance for everyday work. There's a few other options in this dropdown. Sonnet and Haiku are lighter models that use less of your plan allowances and are still really capable of simple tasks. There's also the 1M version of Opus for working with really large code bases, but you don't need that for today. Underneath that, you got effort settings. So higher effort means Claude will think harder before responding, which gives you better answers on tough problems, but also uses a lot more of your plan allowance. For a small project like the one we're just building today, medium is plenty. If you ever find yourself running into usage limits, switching to a lighter model or lower effort is the first thing to try, and most simple tasks will work just well. And this right here is important, the permission mode. By default, this is set to accept edits, but I want to switch this to ask permission before we start. The names are a little confusing at first, so let me explain. Accept edits is actually what it means is Claude will apply its changes automatically without asking. Ask permission is the safer one. It means Claude has to pause to ask you before changing anything. There's also plan mode in the dropdown. This one's useful for bigger projects where you want Claude to lay out the plan before touching anything. We're not going to use this one today since our project is so small. Okay, let's build something. We're going to make a simple random name picker. You might use this for something like a raffle, picking a random person from a list, deciding who gets to go first in a game night, whatever. It's a small project, but a useful one. And it's going to let me show you everything important about how this app works. First, I'm going to make a brand new empty folder right here in my documents folder here. And I'm just going to call it this name picker. Just a normal folder, nothing special inside of it. Now I'm going to go back to Claude. Now in Claude, I'll click select folder, find my name picker folder and open it. And we're in the session. You can see the folder name up top. And now anything I ask Claude to do will happen inside this folder, nothing outside of it. That's a nice safety boundary to have. Okay, so here's my first prompt. I'm going to ask Claude to build the whole thing from scratch and we'll see what it proposes. I'm going to give it this prompt right here, and I'll put the prompt down below in the description so you can just copy it and paste it if you want to follow along with the same thing. Now, I won't read you the whole thing, but this is going to be asked to create an HTML file that's going to be named index.html. And I just tell it specific things on what I wanted to do, from thing like picking a name when I click a button. So let's go ahead and just go and send. I'm going to click Trust Workspace. It's asking me for permission. I can allow once or always allow. I'm going to click Allow Always. Now, here's where the desktop app really shines compared to the terminal version. I can preview the file right inside this app. I'll just stretch this out. And here's my name picker. We have our text area at the bottom, a big pick name button, empty space at the top where the name will appear. Let me test this out here with a name list. I'm going to put these ones in right here, and I'm going to click Pick a Name. Maya 1. I also want to point out, here's the folder that I created, the name picker one. I go in it, I can see the index.html file right there. So it went and created me this file, but I have the option of seeing it right inside the new desktop app that Claude has as well. Okay, so right now it just snaps to the next name. Let's make it feel a little bit more exciting, like a real drawing. So my next prompt is going to be, before the final name appears, can you make it cycle through random names from a list quickly for about 2 seconds, then slow down and land on the final pick like a roulette effect? It should feel like a real drawing. All right, that took hardly any time at all. Let's go test it just with the same list of names. I'm going to click Pick a Name. And look at this, how it's going through, building excitement just by that simple prompt. One more edit. Let's give it a little bit of personality and make it look a little bit more friendlier. And so what I'm going to say is this. Add a friendly title at the top of the pages that says, and the winner is, change the color scheme to a soft teal as the main accent, make the pick a name button a little bigger and the subtle hover over effect. Also, after name is picked, add a small button text or next to it that says pick again. Let's try this update. All right, so here it is. We have the title up across the top that we asked for. We have a bigger button. We have the teal accents. Now I want to know if the pick again option will be after the draw. So let's go paste the same names in, and I'm going to hit pick a name. Oh, and we still have our roulette style here. And we have Nathan, and then we have that button pick again. So in a few minutes, we've gone from an empty folder to a working tool, and the files live on your computer. You could open it in a browser, like I showed you before, send it a friend, drop it in a USB stick. It's yours. You could even upload this and put it online. Okay, a few things I just want to show you before we wrap up today. You don't need to know them to do what we did today, but you'll eventually want to know where they are. The first thing is that we have an integrated terminal inside of this. So if you go up here and click, and you can open this up here. And as a beginner, you might not want to use this right away, but I wanted to make sure you knew that it was there. The other thing are some shortcuts. If I go just with control and semicolon together, I get this side chat. Now this lets you ask Claude a quick question without interrupting your main task. This is useful once you're juggling bigger projects. Now, here's a really cool one here, this up here. So this select elements, and you can see the shortcut, if you look above, is going to be the Control, Shift, and S all together. And what this allows me to do is, if I have this selected, I can go and, let's say if I had multiple buttons and I wanted Claude to make sure I knew what button I was picking at, I can click it and it adds it to the chat. So Claude's going to know specifically which one I'm talking about. You can also drag these panels around. You don't have to be in this setup. There's a little move tool up here. So as soon as you select it, I can drag them around to adjust it any way that I want. And your sessions are going to be under recents here. So if you go ahead and leave, you can come back and pick up exactly where you left off in that project. One last thing on usage. Your Claude plan includes a usage allowance, and Claude Code can use that up faster than regular chat because it's actually doing real work on your files. If you hit a limit, the app will tell you. You can either wait for it to reset or switch to a lighter model like Sonnet or Haiku and keep going. So you are not going to be charged any surprise fees. It just pauses you. So don't be afraid to experiment. So that's Claude Code in the desktop app. No terminal required. And if this is your first time using it, I'd suggest trying a small project of your own. Anything you've been curious about, like a simple web page, a little tool, a calculator, whatever. So the best way to learn this is just to play with it. What we did today was just scratching the surface. Claude Code can also teach itself your own personal workflows, connect to tools like GitHub, Google Drive, and even run automated tasks for you on a schedule. I'll be covering those in future videos. So if you want to see those, subscribe and drop a comment telling me which ones you're most curious about. Thanks for watching this time on Teacher's Tech. I'll see you next time with more tech tips and tutorials.